Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now it was about 3 years ago that I last owned a 5700 XT, a Gigabyte OC edition that I didn't have for very long at all. Before that I had a standard 5700 which I flashed with the XT BIOS. In both cases I enjoyed my time with the cards, and the same can be said with this, a Reference 5700 XT that I pulled from an Asus ROG gaming PC featured in the previous video. In that one it was paired with a 3600X and just 8 gigs of single channel DDR4 per the pre-built system's out of the box specs, but today we're taking a look at what this thing can really do. I've always liked the design of the reference cooler. It doesn't exactly do a great job at, well, cooling, but it just looks fantastic. The dent in the top and the jet engine style rear really stand out to me, but of course it's not for everyone. At launch back in 2019 it was priced at $400 like an Nvidia 2060 Super, yet it offered near 2070 Super performance. During the GPU shortage I saw these going for closer to $1,000. Here and now, in early 2023, prices have settled and one of these makes for a much more tempting proposition. So let's see what this 8GB Navi 10 GPU can do. Is it still a 1440p powerhouse? Here come the results. So this thing runs warm, there's no denying that. The single fan cooler is stylish, but it really doesn't help all that much. It's always been suggested to me that I undervolt these cards, but today we'll be using it as is, with the fan curve left at auto too. My main goal was to see how high we could go with the settings and get solid 60fps gameplay, or at least 60fps, even though I wasn't sure what to expect. The first game is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I opted for 1440p resolution and the Ultra preset with nothing else changed. The Filmic anti-aliasing option was also left at normal. The average sat very close to 90 and the percentile lows were good as well. Not really any drops below 60 at all during the 3 team deathmatch games that I played across a variety of random maps. Don't be alarmed by the 90-degree temperature, that's pretty much what we're working with today. Anywhere from 80 to 90 was about the standard. Fortnite now and again 1440p was the chosen res in combination with the medium preset and 100% resolution scaling. It looks pretty good with these settings, though if you want as many frames as possible you might want to go even lower in terms of settings and resolution. The current settings didn't stop me from being competitive though, especially as Fortnite is one of the only multiplayer games that I'm sort of good at. Don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but there we go. Cyberpunk's low preset doesn't default everything to low like it used to, it actually keeps some things at medium. Aside from this, I went with the high crowd density and textures because crowd density is more of a CPU intensive option and the i5 won't have any issues. Texture wise we're also fine because of the card's VRAM, and overall Cyberpunk hit at least 60 as an average without the help of FSR. One downside of this compared to its Nvidia counterparts in 2023 could be the lack of hardware supported ray tracing, but if you're like me and you don't really care about that, then it's no big deal. Sure, it can look great, but I always find RT features best left to higher end cards with performance to spare. Again though, that's just a personal opinion. Red Dead Redemption 2 looks really nice with the ultra textures and pretty much everything else set to medium, including TAA. This gave our Reference 5700 XT no trouble today and the frame rate far exceeded what I expected. Halfway through the test I wish I had pushed it harder, but if you want to be more than definitely sure you won't be seeing any sub 60fps performance dips, then this could be the way to go, as there is a great balance between visuals and frame rate here, even in busier areas and towns. Elden Ring, as you know, runs at 60fps by default with a cap. There's no problem hitting that here at 1440p maximum. The game looks really good, and while you may see the odd frame drop, there are no major issues to report. The FPS cap is really helping to keep the temperatures in check a little more too, as the card isn't really being pushed all that hard. If you have a 60 or 75Hz monitor and play at 1080p instead, then one of these will be ideal in 2023 for the right price, of course. There were some little dips and drops in Spider-Man, but again no real problems at at 1440p, you could very much still buy one of these for 1440p gaming and be happy with it these days, but I'll expand on that a little bit later because this isn't always the case. Not 100% of the time anyway. It depends on the settings you want to use. High settings here will work wonders for the performance and the graphical quality. Right, so with The Witcher 3, I'm usually always having issues with stutter, but no such issues occur with the 5700 XT. Either this game and its next-gen patch love AMD graphics cards, or it just loves the 5700 XT because the performance was very good and really smooth, even within the busy city walls with the Ultra preset. HBAO Plus was also enabled, and once again I'm playing at 1440p, so everything looks fantastic and I have no performance complaints, which is unusual in this one. Now I want to switch to some 1080p results simply because the following games had issues with 1440p in terms of stutter when they hit that upper VRAM limit. I think this is a card thing for sure, not a game thing, but some of my games were just better suited to this lower resolution regardless of the settings. Be it medium, high or ultra, some titles just didn't want to run that great on the 5700 XT at 1440p. The first game is Sons of the Forest. Don't get me wrong, it looks and plays really nice in this footage, but at 1440p the card didn't like it no matter what settings I chose. Not sure why, but 1920 by 1080 with high runs like a dream most of the time. It's early days for Resident Evil 4, this is the demo in fact, but again 1440p seemed to be best avoided, especially when the game ran nearly maxed out at 1080p. It really looks incredible by the way, and I cannot wait for the full game. Finally we have Forza Horizon 5, which stuttered like crazy at 1440p with the higher presets. Because of this I preferred to play at 1080p with Ultra, but it's up to you. If you'd rather play at 1440p with medium or low, then it will still look good, but as a matter of personal preference I decided to stick to a lower res but higher settings for this one because of some severe frame time issues. Overall, the 5700 XT is still a great card, and I'm glad to see that prices have come down because it's certainly worth considering. 1080p and 1440p gaming is more than doable, with consistency guaranteed with that former lower resolution. The reference model won't be for you if you dislike noise and heat, unless you really prefer the design to anything else, but having said that, a reference model will probably be more expensive anyway, as it tends to be harder to find, so partner cards are by default the way to go. Thank you very much for watching this one then. Let me know your thoughts of the 5700 XT down below in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one, leave a dislike if you didn't. Thank you very much for 500,000 subscribers. I think we've just passed that, or at least we will do by the time this video goes out, so I'll definitely be doing something special at some point. Who knows what yet, but we'll think of something. Again, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the card below, and hopefully, as always, I'll see all of you in the next video.